Hey guys, Charlotte here. Just wanted to bring you a video regarding my mapping philosophy, inventory management, and stash management when I'm running my Poison Arrow solo map MFR build. As usual, apologies for the microphone quality. So at this point in the league, this is Warbands. It's about 1 month in. I do un-ID recipes for eye level 71 or lower, ID recipes for eye level 72 to 74, and Regal recipes for 75 plus. I don't really spend a whole lot of time in my hideout after clearing lower level maps. For defensive items, if it's not capable of rolling 42 to 45% resistance, which starts at eye level 72, it's more than likely not worth selling, so that cuts my scan time down significantly when I'm identifying items. My eyes are able to pick up the 30% plus rolls very fast. If I don't see that, I vend it. Offensively, for attack weapons, unless I see 65% plus, it's a vendor. The reason for that is because hybrid T2 rolls start at eye level 73, and so if it's 65% plus but without accuracy, meaning that it's a pure physical roll, guaranteed, it's a vendor. I don't really bother looking at things like quivers that much unless I see a lot of percent rolls, which indicates to me it's probably got a combination of crit chance, multi, weapon ele, which are the only combinations that make quivers worth more than 2 chaos. That sort of thing. As for items that I pick up, which I will demonstrate when I run this map shortly, I limit myself to one 4x2 slot item per trip, and I try and make sure that it's a staff or a bow, because those can roll +3 fire or +3 bow gems, since it's very easy to burn portals if you grab too many 4x2s. I do make exceptions for bows, adding all the bows that I find, because statistically you're much more likely to find a +3 bow than you are a +3 fire staff. I don't really bother focusing on base types until eye level 73, which is the highest hybrid attack and highest flat defensive affixes. If for whatever reason that I find that I have portals left after this philosophy has taken place regarding 4x2 items, I don't backtrack, I just load a new map. It's a lot faster. So, just to give you a quick demonstration of my stash organization, which is also key in terms of clearing maps quickly and making sure that you don't spend a whole lot of time in your hideout. This is the way that I have it set up. I have a run tab, which contains some maps that I'm going to run. These are div cards that I'm looking for the challenge, and I have some currency slots here for one of pretty much every currency with the exception of Exalts and Divines, so that if I pick up that currency, I just control click it in and it slots itself here. Now you see here with these alks, I have a full stack here. When this comes up to 2 full stacks, which I'll just demonstrate shortly here, so for example, I've got this set up, right? I need to start making room in order to be able to generate and put more alks here, because this is just going to default to go right here. So what I'll do is I'll just control click one over, I'll put the 2 slots back in, I'll control click the rest over, and then I'll put them into this other tab here which I have generated, which is a much broader currency spectrum, so that when sections of this get full, I can just move them over here quite quickly and it just starts to stack. And typically what I do is that if I've got some alterations here, I'll expand them over, so what I can do is pick up the 20 stacks and I just control click and I don't have to reorganize everything. It's already pre-prepared for me to do. Now in terms of actual stash tab organization, I make sure that I keep my money tab right next to my run tabs. Actually I put my recipe tab here, my un-ID recipe first. It's just a preference thing, but I keep these 3 tight, the ID recipe, the un-ID recipe, and the money tab, so that if I ever need to pull something from here, it's just a quick push of my arrow key and then I can control click it in. Now if I've got a recipe here, which I've partially generated one here for you, very quickly, 2-hander, boot, body, belt, amulet, meaning that I need gloves and a hat and 2 rings.
Good
and I
day
just
to
go
you,
over
Exile.
to my master, which is conveniently placed right next to my stash. I do that quickly, I go back to my money tab, I control click it over, it's done. I have a map here. Oh look, my 69 tabs are right here. I have 2 items that are worth 5 chaos. Oh look, boom, 5 chaos. Move them over quickly, and then I'll list them later. Which brings me, by the way, to the rest of this, what you see here. Map organization comes right after divination cards, so I can control click them from my money tab or my runs tab very quickly, or straight from my inventory after a map. And the same for any maps that I drop. I can just move them straight in by going after I come out of a portal, I go to my stash, I've got a map, boom, let's say I have a 71, boom, it's in. Not a big problem. Un-ID maps are organized here. Maps that I want to vendor, typically that's just tunnel and lower level maps after I've built up an entire tab of 68s, that kind of thing. And then Regal recipes come here. The reason that I've pushed Regal recipes further back in behind the maps is because typically I'm running lower level maps in order to do chaos recipes, unID chaos recipes specifically. But if I'm going to be running a higher level map, like this 73 right here, if I kill rares, I'm going to take the time to check the item level. If it's eye level 75, then oh look, I can just click here, and the Regal's going quite quickly. Shop organization is also key, and this comes down to experience. If I drop an item like Rise of the Phoenix, which I know is 5 chaos, boom, I can just drop it into my 5 chaos tab quickly. And my shop is organized exactly the same way. So I've got a 1C buyout tab, a 2C buyout tab, blah blah, etc. onto the 10 chaos buyout tab. So I can just go upload my items to the forum really quickly. And then if I have something I want to price, like say this quiver, I put it in here. And part of the way that I organize these tabs, which helps make things more efficient in terms of when I list items, is that new items go into the bottom right, and items that I've already listed go into the top left. So once I have listed the Calm's Roots and Rise of the Phoenix, I'll just do a quick double control click so I know that I've listed them. Simple enough. And I do the same with any items that I manually price that are worth more, like 20 level gems, 21 fireball, etc. so forth. So, to take a look at how I actually run my mapping philosophy and my inventory management in relation to how I manage my stash, we will run this 73 temple. And I've deliberately set this up so that I know off of the Warbands tracker that this has, it's conquered by the Red Blades presently. Okay, well it's got Red Blade Raiders now. I guess I missed the timing on it. That's fine. So we'll just go and we'll run it. So what I do, there you go, boom, there's a staff. First thing I do is I get the 4x2 slots into this corner right here. Just makes it easier to organize later. I've got a second two-hander, I don't want it. I've already got my one two-hander. I will make an exception if a bow drops, then I'll pick up another two-hander. Same goes for two-handed chrome bends, by the way. I don't pick them up. I don't even bother. Not unless I'm at the end of the map and there's a couple chrome bends that I know are lying around. The reason for that is because you can get more alterations per map if you are picking up items that take up less space. And when you're running a build like this, you are typically going to burn through all of your portals very, very quickly. Not all the time, though. Depends on RNG. As you can see here, actually the drops aren't being all that cooperative. But we've got Piety, so this will help out. Necrovigil, yay. I love Necrovigil. Okay, so Piety's dead. This goat needs to get out of the way. The lightning storms are done. Come on, chase me. Chase me. There you go. Good enough. Alright, so now I notice that I've got spare space here for a map, right? And as you get experienced, you'll just kind of go quickly and see what you have here. So I've got spare space for some extra currency, and boom, right here. So now this fits quite comfortably. Or I could have dropped the heavy belt, right? Got the heavy belt. I've still got a space for, say, a ring if there was one here. This is where I will consider picking up another two-hander so that it fits in nice and tight with the belt. I don't have that option available. So I start to pick up everything else that will fill up this top row with a 2x3. So I've got a cutlass and a tenderizer, gloves, stealth boost, boom, I'm full. Alright. Portal. So now I haven't checked what I need for an ID recipe. I need a pair of gloves. Perfect, I got a pair of gloves. They're crap. Go back here. ID everything quickly. How's my belts doing? My belts are fine. Nothing, 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 nothing. Oh, life, nope, still crap. Vendor. It's not higher than 65%, which means it's not a T1 hybrid roll, and it's pure fizz, so that's a vendor, etc. This belt, I'm good on belts. Yeah, decent life, it's probably got a craftable fix. We'll check that quickly. No, I don't know. Screw around with that later. Doesn't matter. If I want to check it later, check it later. Catacomb map, boom, 73, drop it, go back in. Sharkskin tunic, whittlesale robe. Notice the order I picked those up in. Boom, 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 boom. So it automatically organizes itself. As you get more experience running maps and managing your inventory, you will start to do that automatically. Because if I did it sort of random, let's say I pick up this Terror Claw, then this, then that, and then that, I've got this space here off along the side, which works out in this case because I've got the Orb of Chance, which goes right there. But let's say I wanted to do that instead, because now look, I've dropped a gemstone sword, right? So the order can end up being quite impactful on what you do. Now, I also will pick up this two-hander. It's an axe. I won't typically carry that with me, but because I've got the belt there, it's a nice way to fill up that entire section of columns. Now I've dropped a bow, so I swap it because I don't care for the axe. Actually, it's eye level 73, isn't it? Yeah, we'll ID it. So we'll ID the bow. It's crap. We'll pick up the axe, and then we'll ID that instead. And it serves as a placeholder once again. Right, so if this was a lower level map where I couldn't get the T1 hybrid, I wouldn't have bothered going back for that axe. I just would have left it. Nice little magic pack grouping. Hopefully some decent loot. Communal souls. There's another axe I don't care about. Oh, Grove bow. Okay, I prefer bows. I'll take that. Now again, notice the order I pick it up. Wand, helmet, shield.
That would only slow me down.
Wand, helmet, shield. So now I pick up the spare scrolls, blah blah, etc. And I already know from checking previously that my ID recipe tab is prepared and ready to go for accessories.
You wish to
I did
speak.
not pick up any accessories, so now I just go through a quick vendor, scan everything quickly, not T1 hybrid, vendor, that looked close, but it still sucks, and throw it all in and go. Now back to the order. I don't feel like any of the two-handers. Missed the portal scroll. Who cares? Do not backtrack. Backtracking is a waste of time. If I missed that scroll right there on my click, I would have just skipped right past it. So I'm just transmute. And just keep killing stuff. Now sometimes I'll pick up items like that series, and I won't necessarily notice how it's organized, so I just take a quick look. Okay, I've got spare space there. If I move that portal scroll for a 1x3, I don't feel like doing vegan. Or I can leave it for picking up spare currency. Kill that, kill that, kill that. Orb of Scouring, so I've decided now, because the Scouring dropped, I'm going to worry about spare currency being there instead, because boom, it's nice and tight. Organized. Legion gloves, I know I have a spot below that 2x3. Tenderizer, so now I need ideally another one-hander. I'm not even looking at my inventory anymore, because I just know that that's how it's organized. Alright, so not the best map for loot, but you get the idea, right? Now I know that the map is mostly clear, so I'll worry about the two-hander, as I know I'm probably going to have space for it. But only because I know I'm going to have space for it. Goatman drop crap loot. And yeah, not a whole lot left in this map. So I didn't drop a map, I didn't drop anything that was really worth selling. This is a decent base, and it's got decent resistances, but the ES isn't all that high, so it's a vendor. Notice how quickly I scanned that. Now that comes down straight up to experience. Knowing that I can go and pick up an item, and I just look at the roll, and I go, okay, that might be worth about 8 chaos. I slap it into the 8 chaos tab. Or if I feel like looking up at the price, I'll put it in my shop tab at the top right to know that I need to look up the price. Or I just say 8 chaos and I'll change the price later. So what I recommend that you do is that you go to this website, poeprice.info, and you take a look at the affix rules that I talked about at the beginning of the video and start to familiarize yourself with what constitutes a T2 or a T1 rule, so that you know when you're looking at a specific item what kind of affix rule that you should be looking for to determine whether or not it's worth selling. This becomes more important in the latter stages of the league, when people are already geared and they're looking for upgrades that are significantly better, such as with 43% lightning resistance and 37% fire resistance with an open suffix, that sort of deal. And just familiarize yourself with the affix ranges, the affix pools, and as well the base types. What constitutes a good base type? For example, ancient gauntlets aren't really worth anything ever. There's a whole lot better in terms of armor gauntlets. Ancient gauntlets, I think, are a 47 level requirement, which isn't really going to sell all that much at this point in the league. You want to be looking for Goliath gauntlets or better. Goliath are 53, Vol gauntlets are 63, Titan gauntlets are 69, and that sort of thing. And as you start to familiarize yourself with the bases and the affixes that are available on particular items, you'll be able to quickly scan what's in your inventory and determine whether or not that you should keep it. Now, while you're learning this, what I recommend doing, if you have the spare tab space, is to actually make yourself a tab very early on next to your recipes. And if you think an item potentially has an affix that's worth taking a look at, just make a tab called affix check and color it something noticeable if you have premium tabs. And so you can take an item that may or may not be worth something, but you don't want to spend the time pricing it immediately, and just put it in. And then afterwards, you can run, 5 or 10 maps, or, at the end of your day, you can go and then you can start to price those items out to see whether or not they're worth anything. Another website worth checking out is poeprice.info, which will help you price your items quickly if you're not quite that familiar yet with how to search for items on poe.trade. So that's the video regarding inventory and stash tab management. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or I'll answer them on my Poison Arrow solo map MF for Guide Drive. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon in Red Class.